All right, so I just got the rough end, just setting up this part of the counter. It's been all stained and sealed, and this is just a rough cut of this section of it. Stove goes right here, so I just gotta sand this section here to make it a straight line, so the stove also fits in here. Got to cut this straight, and it sits flush basically up to here, but there's this section that needs to have an indent. So what I'm thinking about doing is cutting it in here and then over, and then putting like a hinge on it so that I can fold it up and then put the stove in, and then when the stove's in, fold it down, so there's actually counter space back here, and then you don't have clearance issues. It's also good to be able to flip this up so I can go in there, and because I'm assuming I'll just run it off propane, like the mini propane canisters, and so I'll have it sitting in there. So if I have this hinged, I'll have access to that and whatnot, and then possibly even more storage space if I have a hinge on this. So that's what we'll do there. But we'll cut it up, sand it to make it level or even, whatnot, get all the glue stains off, and then we'll stain it up and put it in there, anchor these all down. Actually, I won't anchor this desk or this top down until I figure out how to get the refrigerator in there, fixed in there so that it doesn't fly around when driving and whatnot. So anyway, that's what we'll work on today a little bit, since it's not the best of weather outside that time of year. All right, I put the door on the other day, but down here at the bottom, it was a little rotten from years of moisture, so I fixed it with some wood glue and sawdust, built it up, but I built it up too much, so now it doesn't want to close down here all the way. So I'm going to use a rasp and just grind away at the bottom so that I get some space in there so that it will close. All right, shaved it off, opens up, closes. Let's see if it moves when I push on it. It's about in there. I might shave a little more just to give it lots of room to expand and contract in the different humidities and temperatures, but looks like we did pretty good. All right, we got my fridge out of its little cubby there, so I can figure out how to put it in permanently. And I guess there was these little plugs in these little holes here, both sides, and just poke those out, and now I gotta drill holes through them and then use screws and then anchor them into something in here. So it's a little bit far from the walls in there, so I gotta figure out how to put some bracing in there. But after I put the bracing in, I'm just gonna use a drill and drill some pilot holes in there, and then whatever size screws I can get in there, I'll put in there and get her done. All right, we finished securing the refrigerator today. So I just had an old 2x4 that I had kind of split down here for some reason, so just sitting on the junk pile, but it was a good spacer to screw to cabinetry here. I just screwed it in about 3 or 4 times just to get it in place. And there's just enough of a gap here, for some movement. On this side, it was a little bit wider, so I just found some blocking and some old lumber and doubled it up. I had to screw it into this. It looks like we did 5 screws. I'll probably add another one just to make it look uniform. And then what I did here in the refrigerator is you have these holes, and I drilled out holes in them and then found some long screws, screwed them in, and it's reset back enough to where When you fully open it, you know, there's still just a little room here. Sorry about the camera. So I'm going to put some trim around here, but it's still going to open freely. And then it's not sticking out too far from its space there. So yeah, hopefully it's good to go now. All right, we're over here in the corner where the stove goes, and we're just starting to put in the countertop. And so I just put these little braces in here, and then we'll screw this part in. Hopefully it stays tight. All right, we put that in place, and then what I did was add another piece here, and put a piano hinge on, and it goes up and down because when I put the camp stove in, it has, first of all, it has this thing, so I couldn't have this hinge piece go all the way across because that regulator goes right here. But what it is, so when I put it down, there's going to be excess space here, and when I close it, it kind of closes that gap so that it gives me room to at least possibly unscrew the LP gas and whatnot, and then, you know, room to like grab, and I'll probably have some tie downs that come across, so I'll have them hooked down there, and I need to reach in there to grab them to unhook the stove. And so yeah, so I just decided to cut this piece and hinge it in, so that should work pretty good. And I do have another little chunk that I'll get a small piano hinge on this corner, and it'll just kind of encase the regulator that goes right here, so that should work well. Flip that up as well, so just to tie it together. All right, here on the base where the wood stove, I keep saying that, the little propane stove goes, it was just plywood and it was ugly, so I got this peel and stick tiles from the depot, and who knows how good the adhesive is, but yeah, cut it into shape. I'll probably trim it up with a little wood there so to hold it in place and look cleaner, so it should stay there. Anyway, that's what it looks like. Good stuff. All right, getting ready to put the old sink back in here. I did put this faucet in. I had to drill some holes, and then those old brass pipes didn't want to go on there. Really had to crank them on there, so I thought I was going to strip them out, but I think they're good. Hopefully they're watertight. I can't move the tubes in there, so I think they're good. And then I just threw some beetle tape around here, and we'll see if that's a good enough seal on the outside. Once I get the sink in and bolted down, then I might at some point do some caulking around the outer rim, but we'll see how this goes when I get it in. Howdy y'all, just a little update on what I've been doing the last couple days in here. So we got the countertop in, and I secured the sink. I did put butyl tape underneath it to seal it. There's a little, I might put some caulking in here, but at the same time, I probably won't use much water and washing in here anyway because it's such a small sink, so who knows. We got the second piano hinge in here. Just, you know, just makes it kind of completes the counter back here. You know, I just be able to put either, I don't know if a propane bottle will fit there if it's too close to hit the bottom of this section here or not, but you know, lift this up so I can at least access it or pull it out of here with the bottle attached possibly, or I'll probably most likely use a hose and use like a slightly bigger propane tank than the little Coleman bottles you get for camping. But anyway, we got this all set up, and I trimmed in all around the counters and the corners here, and a little bit up there, and then I'll put one here, but I've got to figure out if I'm going to put carpet on top of this or just vinyl, or you know, peel and stick flooring or whatnot. And then I do have to secure this, but I finished in all of the trim around here and put the hinges on. And so that was pretty cool to get that done. And so I trimmed around the fridge, got it bolted in so it's secure, which is what's up with these. Trimmed around all the cabinetry in here. I still have to get these fixed in place a little bit better, and then do some touch up painting and whatnot, and clean up these drawer pulls. And then I did the self-adhesive tile back there, trimmed it in a bit. I'll probably just use a black marker to get that little piece trimmed in. Still gotta secure this down. I just have a piece of duct tape on the back side to hold it in to show you what it's supposed to be like. I did start working on these ones last night. Got this trimmed in, put on. Same with that one. I still have to trim around those drawers, and got this little one trimmed in. So I still have to do this one and this one today, and then figure out the latches for the cabinets here and get those put up in. So yeah, making some progress. It looks nice, looking like it's getting closer to being finished, which is awesome. Anyway, there we go.